Last October it finally happened, Ghost of Yōtei was released. My long-awaited sequel to my 2020 Game of the Year, Ghost of Tsushima. I loved everything about that game, got the Platinum Trophy and couldn't wait for this sequel. And now, a few months later, I finished it and here is my review. And in short, yes, this is Ghost of Tsushima in every way, only bigger, better and more comprehensive, with nothing really new. So everyone who says that if you have played Ghost of Tsushima you don't need to play this one is essentially right, but I disagree. Because that's exactly why you should play it. And if that's all you wanted to know, thank you for watching. Until the next video, bye. But if you want to know more, let me tell you right here, right now.
Wow, NATO!
In Ghost of Yōtei you play as Atsu, the daughter of a blacksmith bent on revenge. She hunts down the Yōtei Six, the 6 leaders of a group responsible for the massacre of your childhood family, a massacre you yourself barely survived. Despite being impaled to a tree with a sword and left for dead, severely wounded, you're still on a path of revenge years later. And yes, it's a story that bears a striking resemblance to another open world action game set in former Japan, released in 2025, but the way this revenge story is told on a level that game couldn't match.
Well, that was clear.
While the plot is fundamentally just as simple, it's much more immersive. However, the story is perhaps the only negative thing about this game. The simple plot, however well told, doesn't compare to its illustrious predecessor, Ghost of Tsushima. That story was simply more profound, even better told, and packed with much more cooler plot twists. Not that this isn't the case here, but it's just not as good. That doesn't change the fact that it's still a rock solid story full of awesome moments and great characters though. The gameplay itself hasn't changed much, and what has changed is simply the naming or some additional weapons. Take stances for example. In Ghost of Tsushima you had to adopt different stances with certain enemies based on the enemy type and weapon. Ghost of Yōtei is no different, except that you're here not using stances but constantly switching between weapons that are more effective than those your opponents are using. A basically simple rock paper scissors like principle, but in the heat of battle it's tricky enough to keep you invested. You can also disarm enemies now, or some enemies you defeat drop their weapons and use those dropped weapons to unleash a devastating throw, usually resulting in an instant kill. Damn! But otherwise, this game doesn't do much differently, and I love it. Because here too, nature guides you through the game. So you're once again following birds to point of interest, foxes to shrines, and plumes of smoke indicate where there's something to do. And as usual, it's teeming with animals, sometimes bordering on insane.
Those fucking animals.
You can also use the wind as guidance and increase your health with hot springs. And bamboo strikes for more spirit. So far, nothing new, although the game does add a few activities such as drawing, wolf quests, playing the guitar, cooking in your camps for a temporary bonus, and a pretty fun coin flip game. Oh, and I also loved riding through white flowers for a sprint bonus with your horse.
That's a good idea.
And just like before, you sneak and fight your way through the quests and side quests, liberate camps, and occasionally have to do some platforming, even if it can be a bit frustrating at times.
For fuck's sake.
But generally, everything works very smoothly. The combat in particular is tough, fluid, and brilliant as always. With powerful hits, counters and dodges, you build up spirit, allowing you to unleash awesome skills or heal yourself, keeping you constantly engaged in the combat. Should you use a skill or not take any risk and wait until you need to heal. Enemies, especially bosses, can be quite tough and can unleash powerful combos that will drain large portions of your health bar. And no, this isn't a Dark Souls in any way, but it's not exactly easy. All in all, the gameplay hasn't really changed much, it doesn't innovate and it does add a few things, but it does exactly what it's supposed to do, so I once again enjoyed the gameplay and all its facets. You've probably already seen the presentation in this video, it's phenomenal. The game is truly stunning with amazing vistas, and the characters are also well motion captured, which adds to the experience. I also didn't encounter any performance issues like frame drops, annoying clipping, game breaking bugs or anything else. The music is also truly enjoyable and really gets you in the mood. Ghost of Yōtei definitely does a lot to get this vibe across, with the storytelling occasionally using a kind of drawn style similar to Borderlands 4 earlier this year. And it's full of cool little details, because if this isn't a Sly Cooper reference, I don't know what is.
It's so obvious.
Although the game does go a bit overboard with the leaf physics, because I've never seen leaves fly away so exaggeratedly when I walk through them. But hey, maybe the leaves back then were made of helium, who knows. Ghost of Yōtei is Ghost of Tsushima, only bigger, more beautiful and more elaborate. So you could choose not to play it because it's nothing new, but then you'd miss out on a great experience. I think it's a bit like not going to a really good restaurant because you've already eaten there. Fine if you want to try something new, but that doesn't mean that it's less good to eat somewhere twice. While Ghost of Tsushima has a slightly more intense story, Ghost of Yōtei is fantastic in every way and perhaps even better than its predecessor. So I give Ghost of Yōtei a 9.4. And that brings us to the end of this review. What did you think of Ghost of Yōtei? Let me know in the comments and don't forget to like and subscribe if you liked the video. It helps my channel immensely. And if you like to see live gameplay, be sure to check out my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/gameplayofjay, and don't forget to follow me there too. And if you'd like to see more videos, check out the suggestions on the left or the channel on the right. And for now, thanks for watching, see you in the next video, bye!